Hi everyone, thank you so much for watching. Today in this video I have my very special guest again. I brought my husband Aubrey to make a video with me.
Oh my god, I'm back.
Yes. Today we decided to make a video about long distance relationship because we are the successful product of a long distance relationship. We're gonna ask several questions in this video and answer them as well. Hopefully this video is going to help you in your long distance relationship endeavors. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So the first question a lot of people ask, do long distance relationship work? Well, there we go.
I know. Like 6 years and counting.
Yep.
Year and a half before we ever met in person, and 6 months after that we got married.
Yep. Obviously having a long distance relationship brings a lot of challenges, and it's very intimidating, you know, being in a long distance relationship and having a lot of doubts about it. People want to know, is a long distance relationship worth it? I personally think it's really worth it as long as you do trust the person that you are in a relationship with.
It's a risk reward thing. You'll look at the risks involved, you'll look at the possible payoff, and you have to be realistic about it. Because that's what we both thought. We saw the risks. Like, we had a 13-hour time difference. We even spoke like different mother tongues and still made it work.
Everything is possible as long as you believe in it. How do you maintain a long distance relationship? That's the hardest part of a long distance relationship, is maintaining it, you know, keeping it alive.
Watering the garden.
Watering the garden. Yeah, we used to have this, what do you call it? A catchphrase, like, we have to water the garden today. Like spending more time with each other, right?
Yeah, like, I know how you are with catchphrases.
Ooh, stop it. What do you think?
Transparency, transparency, transparency. And also a feeling of normalcy. You knew everything I was doing every day. You know, not in crazy detail, mind you. But you know, like, you knew, like, hey, I'm gonna go hang out with friends. Hey, I'm going to the bookstore. Hey, I'm going to work. You know, just like I texted her or sent her messages as if, you know, she were here. For us, whenever she was waking up, I was going to sleep because of the 13-hour time difference. I
totally agree with my husband. Transparency is #1 thing. The more you're transparent about what you do, whom you're with, or literally about anything, it builds trust in a relationship, and it's gonna make it stronger, you know?
And trust is the foundation of any relationship.
Trust is the foundation, yeah.
Whether it's a relationship like this or a friendship, whatever.
And how do you stay positive in long distance relationship, especially if you have never met each other? That's one of the hardest thing to deal with, you know, keeping the relationship positive. What did we do?
No, what did we do? What did we do?
Come on.
I talked about the light at the end of the tunnel a lot, like, so to speak.
Right.
Like, what we were fighting for, what was the end goal, which we got to.
Exactly.
You know, that's one way to be positive, is have a timeline, because that's what we had. After a year, we were like, okay, we got to meet in person now. Set up our trip to Singapore, which is where we met. Recommend going. Amazing place. Like, if I could, I would sell all my stuff and move to Singapore right now if I could. But that's another video someday.
My husband is like, he's sponsored by Singapore.
Amazing place, amazing food. Go.
Having goal, or I would say goals in a relationship, is what's gonna make the relationship positive, you know, positive about the future of the relationship.
Light at the end of the tunnel.
Light at the end of the tunnel. So let's go ahead and move on to the next question. What are the misconceptions of long distance relationship?
They're not as hard as you think they are. They're not as different from a regular relationship as you think they are. You have to think of it as a we thing and not as a you and me thing, because that is where a lot of long distance relationships fail.
Long distance relationship, the only thing that makes it hard is obviously not physically being together, you know. That's the hardest part of a relationship. But in our case, it worked out so well because the timeline that we had, or I would say the time that we had not being able to see each other, gave us a chance to learn more about each other, you know. And it really built a trust between each other. That way, when we met each other, like, everything was like you know.
Yeah, it was just
Like-
seamless transition.
Yes, it went so smooth after that. So yeah, sometimes long distance relationship is actually healthy for a relationship. The next question, what makes long distance relationship better than traditional relationship? Better or worse?
Better or worse? The better, I would go back to what we previously said. You really get to see the person.
Yes.
Because especially when it's completely cerebral and the physical aspect is taken out of it, you really like see behind the curtain, so to speak. The con, I would say, I would go out with friends and there would always be that thing in the back of your head of just like, my other half isn't here.
Right.
Everyone else's other half is here.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I would always just be like that guy by himself.
Exactly. And a lot of people think that, you know, you're crazy when you're in a long distance relationship, especially if you have never met each other. You know, that's kind of a crazy concept. But hey, we again are a living example of a successful long distance relationship. If you believe in each other, you know, if you believe in the future of your relationship, I think everything is possible.
Yeah,
So
it'll work out.
So, what do you have to avoid in long distance relationship?
Keeping secrets.
Keeping secrets, yes.
Me and her were as transparent as you could get, just like, even if it wasn't something that I wanted to hear, you'd still say it. If it was something that you didn't want to hear, I'd still say it. Ooh, change your face.
What?
Your face.
What was that?
Like, you're literally making that face at me right now. You're like,
I am smiling.
no, you didn't make it. Like, you literally.
Do not keep secrets in long distance relationship. Now let's go ahead and talk about us a little bit. So a lot of people ask where and how did we meet? We met each other on online, obviously, at interpals.com. We used to be pen pals. It's not a dating website. I think one of the successful relationship happen when you're not in a search of a relationship. For example, we were friends at the beginning and we got into relationship through the friendship. We did not have the intention, okay, I'm here to date with you, if it makes any sense. It was very organic, yes. How and how often did we communicate?
No less than twice a day. We would Skype when we woke up and Skype when we went to sleep because we had a 13-hour time difference. Basically, when I woke up in the morning, she was going to sleep. Whenever I was going to sleep, she was waking up. And we would Skype no less than 30 minutes every single time.
We did communicate through Skype, Facebook, Messenger. What did our family think of our long distance relationship?
They thought we were crazy.
We were crazy, yes.
Yeah, like both of our families thought we were nuts.
They thought that, you know, I was not real. I was not a real thing.
I was
you know,
getting
it's just
catfished.
it's just
Yeah, they thought I was getting catfished.
yeah, my family thought it's just a, you know, a temporary thing. It's not a long-lasting thing. How often did we fight and how did we deal with it?
We didn't fight very often.
When you're in a long-distance relationship, do not fight with each other that often.
Yeah, like,
that's
that-
not a good thing.
For your sake and for the relationship's sake, don't hold on to like inconsequential things. If you fight about tiny things in a long distance relationship, that is just a waste of both of y'all's time.
Exactly.
You know, because you already have like a finite amount of time you can spend together. When we did have something significant, we talked it out.
Right.
You know what I mean? We sat down, calm, talked it out.
And we still do, you know, even, you know, in our marriage, talking it out is very important. Like if you do have a disagreement with something else, talk it through, you know, right there and then. That way that negativity doesn't last long in a relationship, especially in a long distance relationship. You want to avoid misunderstandings or you want to avoid disagreements as much as possible.
Lingering negativity.
What romantic things did we do besides talking? Ooh.
Yeah, we sent each other gifts and letters through the mail.
Yes.
Like I sent,
handwritten letters.
Yeah, like I sent you a letter with my cologne on it.
Oh yeah, I remember that. He would literally send me like letters, like spraying his cologne, and I would smell it, and I would be like, oh my god, this is how he smells, you know, when he wears a cologne.
Add a dimension that isn't visual, like the smell thing.
Right.
Now you have a smell to put to the face.
Exactly. Or he would send me a teddy bear. He would hug it for several days when he goes to sleep, and he would send it to me. That way it would feel like I have his warmth with me. All those little beautiful things.
I just did that for a day.
I thought it was several days.
Oh, it was just one.
Another thing I remember, I actually knitted a blanket for him. It was a huge blanket, and I took month and month to knit that blanket. And it was one of the beautiful pieces that we made, for each other. So,
yeah, no, I loved that thing.
Like handmade things, the real things. What made our long distance relationship successful? Again,
transparency, being in the right head place, staying positive, not holding on to dumb little things.
Don't major in minor things.
Keeping a normal sort of life. Like again, just like living your life, but keeping the other person involved, even though they're doing their own thing. Just like being mindful of that. Don't care too much about what other people have to say. Do what works for you. Because again, like our friends and family thought we were nuts.
We have the last two questions. What did we learn from long distance relationship? What I have learned from long distance relationship is getting to know the person first is very important. At the end of the day, even when you're physically together, this is what keeps the relationship healthy, like the intangible things. Maybe because of all those things, our relationship end up being successful, I would say, now our marriage, because we still keep those things alive in our relationship.
Keep those things with ourselves.
Last question, guys. What would be our best advice for people in a long distance relationship?
Think of it as a we thing and not as a you and me thing. That is what everybody screws up. Once you start getting that thought of you and me, it's already like, it's doomed to fail if you keep that thought. If you have that relationship for however many years and keep that thought will eat that relationship from the inside out.
And I would say have a drive to make this thing possible, to make this thing real. Because a lot of people do fail, they get into a long distance relationship and they don't have the drive to make it happen, to make it real.
Yeah.
We both put a dedication, we both put responsibility to make our relationship come true.
Filing the paperwork,
exactly.
Saving up the money.
Whether it's about money, whether it's about, putting your time into it and your effort, I would say everything counts when it comes to making it happen, I would say do whatever it takes for you to make it successful, for you to make it happen. If someone made fun of your relationship, you are the one here telling that. And one day, maybe you're gonna have a successful marriage as well. We did have a successful long distance relationship, and now we're having a successful marriage. I'm so proud of us.
I'm proud of us too.
Yes, I'm really proud of us. So, all right guys, so please give it a thumbs up if you have enjoyed it. If you have really enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe as well. So that would be it for our video, guys. We really hope you have enjoyed our video and found it useful. Comment below if you want to see anything specific from us. You guys have a great day. Enjoy whatever that you're doing, and I will see you in the next video.
Aloha, y'all.
Aloha. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
High five. Woo!
Turn the fan on. Turn the fan on, Jesus.